Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Before we get into my guest today, let's talk about the brand that makes this podcast possible for both me and for all of you. Black Rifle Coffee. Let's go to their website right now and see what they have to offer. First thing that I'm seeing is they are clearing out free shipping on orders over $35. And the other rotating banner, I figured this would be here. It's the holiday sale. The Buy More, Save More. December 4th through the 13th. So this is pertinent to the episode that's coming out that you're listening to right now. $50, you get 20% off. $75, 25% off. $100 or more, 30% off. As we scroll down, we're going to see what we always see. The roast slide bar. To the left, light. To the right, extra dark, and for everybody in between. And the rest of the stuff you're going to see on the site, I'll just say that we are bombarded by Christmas at this point. It is upon us. I would recommend checking out the best sellers. Coffee samplers are a great way to introduce people to coffee or to the brand. Coffee bundles, I would say, are a great way to give a gift to somebody who's already a coffee aficionado, and everything in between. So you know where to go for all of your coffee needs. My guest today is Santa Claus, or at least he has been from 11 to 3 p.m. last weekend, this weekend, and into the coming weekend right before Christmas. It's obviously not Santa Claus. It's my dad, who now lives in Kalispell, Montana. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to spending more time with him and having conversations like this. We didn't go crazy deep today. I don't think every conversation has to be crazy deep. But I love the opportunity to sit down and ask questions about where our family came from, where his belief structure came from, his thoughts on life in general, the future of our country, and what he has just seen in the course of his life. So I'll let you get into it. Episode number 316 with my father, Vaughn Stumpf. Enjoy.
Okay, I got the red smoke. Gun run, north and south, west of the smoke, west of the smoke. Okay, copy, west of the smoke. I'm looking at danger close now. Come on with it, baby, give it to me, I need it. You're cleared hot. Copy, cleared hot.
What'd you get yourself into? Cow?
I don't know where that place is at.
Islay single malt Scotch.
But where? What country is that from?
Well, if it says Scotch, doesn't it have to be Scotland?
No, it doesn't. Look at the.
What's the name? I'll look it up.
Isle of Islay. I feel like this is Scotland.
Okay.
Scotch whiskey.
Give me another half hour. I'll tell you what it's like.
I bet. Imported by Diageo.
It's nice. It's a very, very smooth. Not a lot of bite to it. Not a lot of aftertaste.
Smooth with no bite.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you're calling this?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That smells like fucking burnt peat moss.
Well, there is a Scotch whiskey. It is burnt peat moss.
Yeah, I don't know if I would describe that
I
as
can't. I've tried it. It's
smooth.
It's unfreaking godly.
Are you a Scotch fan, Michael?
He likes white. He's a white wine guy.
I'm more of a rosé kind of guy.
Yeah.
In
Rosé.
small quantities.
Yeah, like a nice chilled Chardonnay.
Yeah. Microwave Chardonnay.
What do you drink?
He does drink rosé.
Well, I mean, I have in the past.
I know because I tried to order him.
Well,
bottle.
next Sunday, we're all walking to the Ritz. I'm going to wear the Santa outfit down to the Ritz so you can.
Oh, that'll
Show
be
us what
awesome,
you work,
actually.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So hold on a second. Whose idea was that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you just came up with this in real time.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Next Sunday. That might not be a bad idea.
Get your crew down there. Those gals and Kevin have really worked their ass off.
Connor and Kevin and Gayla are doing an excellent job.
Yeah, Connor,
for sure.
Kevin, yeah.
Port Ellen for that whiskey.
Just so you know, I also don't know where that is.
That's
What country is that in? I'm guessing Scotland.
I'm trying to get him to move on those Christmas trees. I said, make $10, $20. Just get the things out of here.
It's in the UK.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, hold on, let me.
Yeah, the Christmas tree thing is.
Well, it's never. Nobody can see it. It's not there. Again,
Thanks for the constructive
I
feedback.
know. That's what I was going to say. Boy, I'd take a shit on that one.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll consult you on that.
I think wreaths would have been nice because you could have displayed those
so
inside.
it is in Scotland.
Yeah.
It's right here on one of the mini islands.
I got to go there.
Have you ever been to Scotland, Michael?
No.
Put it on your tour.
It's a go-to thing.
I put Ireland on mine already. And
Northern or southern portion of Ireland.
Well, I want to be in actual Ireland, so I might go the southern portion. But
You got to see both.
yeah, I mean, I could just do both.
I'm going to go there and get a shillelagh.
Well, you should have told me you won one. We could have gotten you one while we were there.
Well, I didn't think.
We got you a patty cap. I mean, what else
I
could
love
you
that.
possibly
I
want?
do. I wear it all the time.
Yeah. Where should we begin, Dad? I know where we start. Did you ever in your life think that you would be dressing up as Santa Claus now for your second weekend in a row?
I fantasize about it my entire life.
That may be
A red outfit?
That might be an inappropriate way to answer that question.
Well, to me, it's all about the kids and watching the kids. I mean, it's my Christmas. Watching these kids literally piss themselves. I've only had one I couldn't get up there. A lot of them are hiding and what have you. But I don't know what it is, but they come up. I can't get over the weight of some of these little guys. Jesus Christ, there's some chunks.
I am not sure that that's how you are allowed to describe that.
No, it is. It's fun. I'm glad we got away from the wig. It was suffocating, and I think I was able to grow it out enough that everybody seems to like it.
The wig or the beard?
The beard, it was too much.
What time in 2024 are you going to start prepping your Santa Claus beard? Is this like a June thing? How much time do you need?
I'm going to give more this next time, though. It's going to be full fucking bush,
Don't worry, parents. You can bring your children. And
Well, the greatest thing of all is 3 young gals who I saw in the shop. It got really dead, and I'm walking around, and I'm going,
your wife might listen to this, so let's
well, they're part of the. And I said, are you going to have your picture taken with Santa? No. Well, I'm downstairs starting to take my outfit off. Connor comes down and says, "Look, those 3 gals are upstairs. They want their picture taken."
Are these employees or people who are just at the shop?
Just at the shop. So, I'm going, okay, how do I handle 3? One in each leg, one
These
in
are
the lap.
existential questions.
So I just told them, I said, we can be either naughty or nice here. Nobody's hearing this, And they laughed, they giggled. They were really fun with it. And, one jumped up on my lap, the other 2 there. And it was, and what was sweet is they said, thank you. And that was, hey, cool. That's good.
I don't
Many, without
know
saying,
what
I
to
come
say
with
about that story.
I come with many layers. There's no doubt about it. Santa was on the sleigh a little too long,
Fuck. How? What's your technique to get the kids that are trepidatious to come up?
I lower my volume a great deal, and I look right at them, and they start peeking around the corner. They hide behind a leg or something. And if I can get them close enough that I can hear them, as soon as I ask them their name, I got them. They'll come up. They might be real, who is this guy? But it's fun. I always ask them what their name is, what they want for Christmas. That's a whole nother story.
I was going to ask, what kind of answers have you been getting?
I've had everything from a lizard to cash. I mean,
That's
this
what I'm
little
talking
5-year-old
about.
girl,
Growth.
she says, Grampy, I'm not Grampy, Santa, I want cash.
It's a growth industry.
And I said, well, is your mother here somewhere? But it's children are such an insight into the world. They're so unabashed, they just tell you whatever. I've loved every minute of it. It's my Christmas. I get that kick in the ass out of it.
Why do you think you couldn't get that one child up?
She's just scared shitless. I mean, she just was, And I've tried everything with a candy cane or what have you, and thankfully her parents realized it. It's a trip when you get the mother to come up, and you got the child on one side, and the mother wants to get on the other lap, and I'm going, no. Sorry, it's a trip in human nature. I mean, I love it. You know me, I'm kind of got a screw loose, so it's kind of fun.
You're a showman of sorts. How many people have you told that you were in Playgirl?
A couple.
So just as, let's go through a linear thought process here of somebody who comes to a coffee shop with their child to get their picture taken with Santa. If you could just somehow for me line out where the information that you were in Playgirl falls into that.
That's not how my mind works. Sometimes it just comes out. And I talk to myself every morning before I go down there. I'm going, Santa, cool the jets, it's all about the kids. But you get every once in a while a parent, or I've had old women come up there want to sit next to Grandpa, not Grandpa, Santa. And their questions, I just say, this isn't my first photo shoot. And then it just kind of goes from there.
I mean, do we need to be worried about an HR lawsuit coming?
The human nature of people is just, what I found out, it's usually from 11 to about 1:30, and then I get to go out and mingle with people out there and sit down and talk with them. It's amazing. You talk for everything from family, where we're at, grandchildren, I love talking to people that were born and raised in Kalispell, and it's just I love that interaction with people. I've got to find something to do when Christmas is gone where I can get that injection a couple days a week.
Is it a social interaction that you're looking for?
Yeah. I love hearing people's opinions about stuff. And talked to a guy today, an older gentleman, who started a information page. And he's done really well. I don't know if that's what you call it. A website, not a website, no. Software company. Completely different. But
you really are spanning the gambit here of potential things he could have started.
Yeah. But that's where we got to.
At this point, I'm relatively unsure of what industry he was in, but tell me more.
Well, I didn't press it any further. I just asked him if he'd been to Santa Clara, if he had ever been to Silicon Valley, and what he thought about the artificial intelligence, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I love picking people's brains because it stimulates mine, which doesn't need much stimulation. But
well, I'm aware.
Oh, yes.
God. So you have this episode will come out Monday, which is in 2 days. So anybody listening in the Valley still has a chance
to come down.
11 to 3, Saturday, Sunday. We have Christmas trees at the shop as well. Free hot chocolate for the kids, which I feel like has kind of been a hit.
Yeah.
I took Connor's son's hot chocolate and refilled the whipped cream on it a few times. She wasn't
paying
attention. Yes.
You ever tried to pick that kid up?
Yes.
He can't wait. He was one of the first ones. Jack's a trip. Great kid, great family. Friday night, we're setting this all up. I'm just kind of sitting back going, geez, what I get into here. And Jack was there. He would hide. He wouldn't do anything. And by the time I left, he yelled at me when I was going out the door and ran up and gave me a big hug.
Did he call you Santa?
At that point, I didn't care what he called me. and him and I, we chat all the time, but he had a picture taken. I tried to lift him off the floor. Wow. He is a chunk.
I really am not sure that's a great way to describe children.
Well, we're outside. He's out there playing, what do you call it, cornhole?
Yes.
You wanted me to play with him?
Yeah.
I said, Jack, I don't do anything with cornhole.
What does that have to do with calling him a chunk?
Oh, it just kind of,
Just ties together?
Yeah,
just
fair
enough.
Together.
I'm not going to try to put a lasso around the raging
the whole
mind
thing
stallion.
the whole thing is about the kids. Just watching them. They come in the shop, and I can pick them up way off, and I always do the, Merry Christmas. And I wave to them.
How sick is Debbie of you practicing that at your house?
She kind of likes it. You know, Santa topless is a whole nother thing. You know, it's just
First off, there's not a single person that needs to even consider that.
I disagree.
Okay.
You're saying I'm outdated. I don't think so.
I'm 100% saying you're outdated.
Yeah, it's been a fantasy, you know.
Also, weird way to describe it. I mean,
Well, fantasies can be good. They don't have to be all kinky or anything.
all right. I'm concerned that you meant it in the latter way. But
Oh, no. Just having kids talk to you, half the time I can't understand their name, but their response to, what do you want for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. So cash, lizard. What
Lizard,
else?
iguana, bicycle, motorcycle, presents. But I always say, make sure you leave the chocolate chip cookies out for Santa. Mm-hmm. And one little girl said, I have carrots for the reindeer.
I was there today when she said that.
Yeah,
Yes.
were you? Yeah, and I said, "Spot all right, we got it covered." Yeah, you know, as much as things change, they don't change, and it's always the kids that bring it back. You know, God bless them. It's
I mean, you were kind of born for the job. What grade was it you got sent home for not shaving?
first time or second time. Seventh grade. You know, I came back from a hunting trip and out the door. No. But the eighth grade, they wouldn't let me graduate with the class, especially in the class picture, unless I shaved.
Times have changed on that front.
I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know why wouldn't they let you graduate with a beard?
This is 1959. You know,
Did you guys? So I'm assuming you guys had to do the graduation in during the day because obviously there was no electricity.
yeah, it was a you know, not a grammar school. It was a
Did you guys write with coal? I'm making fun of your age.
I know. Well, you know, the funny thing is my 60th class reunion is this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And I just, I've been thinking so much about. Probably the last time I'll ever see most of these people is at that affair, and I don't think they're going to have it. And a lot of these kids, adults, whatever, I had started school with in kindergarten with. So I'm really kind of sad about all of that. I wish it would happen, but
You could always suggest they break the decade up. They could do a 65-year reunion, so that way you don't have to stretch it to 70.
well, that's what I hope. I know the people that have done it for so many years are kind of wore out. So, you know, and I've missed a lot of them for one reason or another. But
Did you enjoy going to them?
cocktails? Yeah, I'm there. You know.
Okay.
No, I do, because my generation was so devastated by the war. So many of us, I mean, you were either in college, parents had money, or you were on this conveyor belt that was being consumed. And it really has, oh God, it from about 64 to about 68, 69, I mean, there's just huge hunks of people that aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think about that. And I'm at a point in my life where you have a lot of time to think, and some of that stuff is, you know, I'm thankful I have the time to think about it.
I think what would be come up here nice. 2026 will be the 30-year anniversary of my class. I haven't gone to any of the anniversaries, but they also, you know, I'm not a huge, I think, a fan of those type of get-togethers. They have a UDT SEAL reunion every year. I never went to one of those either.
Yeah, I never went to a boat thing either. In fact, I saw one the other day. I was going through stuff, and there was the 50-year reunion of all these guys, Brownwater Navy and what have you. And I just want to keep intact what I remember and those feelings.
How many people do you still actively stay in touch with from your high school class?
2. 3. Big Tony.
Has that dwindled over time because they have passed?
No, I've never been a social person, believe it or not. But
The beginning of this podcast would indicate otherwise. But
but that's just, I never have. I was always such a shy kid. And, I got Tony, who you're named after, Mad Dog, and Bonnie Budworth, which is my first girlfriend. I won't go any farther with that. But
and I feel like the statutes of limitations is passed, but I also don't want to hear that story.
But it's I see them around Santa Cruz. I mean, I'll run into somebody in Costco and Debbie will say, "How long have you known that person?" And I'm going, God, I don't know, 69 years, so that's special. But, it's things that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go to the 30th or the 40th or the 50th.
Why not?
I didn't have a lot in common with the people when I was in school with him.
Neither one of us did.
And I don't feel like I have a lot in common with them now. I have absolutely nothing against them. But I just have... my life took a different path than most people that I grew up with.
I understand. You were very detailed in what you wanted to do, and it was so completely different what the rest of the world did. But I think you would be warmed by reaching out and seeing those people again. I think a lot of them would just like to see you and know you're okay.
Well, I would need to start by kicking the shit out of a few of them.
No problem. I did that. Walked up to the bar, my 10-year reunion. This guy gave me some shit, and I knocked his ass right on the floor. Boom.
I mean, you remember when I graduated high school, I was about 150 pounds, 6 foot 150.
You weren't 6 foot.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
How tall was I?
5'5". No, about 5'10", 5'11". I understood.
I didn't
know.
grow any more vertically once I joined the Navy.
But that has nothing to do with now.
I have the ability to beat the fuck out of them, and I'm going to use it to the maximum of my ability. I sharpen my skills on Michael.
I understand. Michael's gay. I mean, we just get it. It's okay.
I mean,
but
we would have to ask.
But I'm telling you, it's a lot about moving on. They need to move on. And in a lot of ways, it's good for you to do that.
Oh, trust me, I've moved on.
But without a doubt. But there's other ways of moving on. It would be good. You do what you want. I support you in anything you do. But it's just, it would be good for them to see that you're okay. Because you were so different than all of them and so driven. And the thing that put you apart from them, you did what you wanted to do and did it with incredible grace. To see that and know that you're okay.
I was okay then.
I wouldn't call that okay. You know?
I think your perspective is flawed and incorrect.
So what?
I feel like I was okay then. I just had a different path that I wanted to go
I'm not
down.
saying you were not okay. I've never said you weren't okay. I've always loved who you were and what you were. I'm going, thank God the apple didn't fall far from the tree. But you were so untypical of everybody else. And, I remember you had come home, you were 18, 19. I can remember the conversation I had with your mom first time you come home.
Oh, she was pissed. I know where this is going.
Yeah. And I was stocking the refrigerator full of beer. She says, "What are you doing?" I'm going, "Hey, Andy's coming home. He's bringing home a couple of buds."
We were in Buds getting ready to go out to San Clemente Island. So it was like a 4-day weekend. I brought him up for a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, you're right. So your mom says, "Andy's not drinking. He can't." I said, "Excuse me? We're going to have this conversation once and only once." I said, "Trust me, I know what I'm talking about." I said, "This kid can drink in my house anytime he wants." What about all? I said, "No problem. If they come over, I'll take their keys and they'll stay." half the dads showed up because, in those days you hadn't heard of the word of a rager yet. But, typical at my house, we'd find guys standing out in the trees going, where am I? But it was great, to having people. I just said, Mom, we're not doing this. And thank God she understood it. God bless her. She was so starched and so stiff. But when I said no, most of the time, thank God, she said, okay, I got it.
Yeah, no, I remember that trip. That was good. I remember the guys I brought up. Yeah, we were not done with training, but we could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, can you imagine? We got absolutely hammered that night.
We were drinking, Michael, Costco cases of beer.
And gin and tonics. And
yes.
And we had to move the next day.
Yep.
I was so hungover I had to close one eye just to see one thing. And Mom couldn't wait. You're going to move you. And I just did it, got through, Oh, Jesus. I love those times. I enjoyed so much watching you go through that shit.
Go through what, buds?
No, all of it. Just watching you grow up and I knew how much this meant to you and watch you go into an environment that was so harsh in so many ways and watch this guy that was 5'10",
6 foot,
135 pounds,
150.
And, and live your dream. That was
It was a wild path. It was a wild path for sure.
Yeah, still is. Thank God.
I guess. Yeah. How you enjoying living in Montana?
I love it. I'm home. It's. I love the people. They're so generous, kind, helpful. But Jesus Christ, they can't drive worth a shit. I mean, they're.
I feel they say that about Californians. Like, what do you mean they can't drive worth a shit?
Okay, you're going down the freeway 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Got the right blinker on, and then it takes them a minute to turn, and traffic's backed up behind them. If you're in a parking lot, they don't look. They back up. They'll run right over you. But overall, I've had I drugged Debbie up here, and God bless her, she came, and she's loving it. But
would she answer that question the same way?
Yeah. I'm real proud of her. She does. She doesn't like the cold. She loves the beauty. We just drove to Quinn's to the hot tub.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys spend the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
I know I'm asking because I've never spent the night. I'm curious about what it was like.
Well, it was great. It was, the cocktail waitress was running around the hot tubs. I said, here's a $100 bill. Let me know when it ran out. And the guy goes, okay.
Did you guys go when we were in Costa Rica?
Yes.
Okay.
Great place. I was disappointed in the temperature of the hot tubs. They could have been warmer. Great food. People watching was outstanding. One guy, he's on the edge of the hot tub, had 3 cell phones. So I kind of worked my way around to him, and I go, are you really that important? And he goes, but I'm going, you got to be kidding me, right? But it's just, the world's changed. It's just, I love the people. The food was great. We had a room that was right off the river, the Clark Fork. I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
This shit. I love it up here. I love the slower pace. I love the people. Jesus. You drive anywhere, you just look at the mountains. You and I've talked about it. We're fucking home.
Just don't drive east of the mountains because there's less to look at.
Oh, I know. It's just flat. It's a wasteland.
Most of the Montana postcards are made from the mountain range
right
west.
Here over, yeah. So, yeah, it's... if I had it to do it over again, I'd have done it 10 years ago. Yeah. No, having my family up here made it so much easier. Debbie loves the family. She loves the kids. They give her so much that she didn't have. And, it's good. We finally decided, though, we're not going to leave here in spring, summer, and autumn. So we're going to do our traveling in wintertime. We're going to Hawaii for 10 days.
Did you get your tickets booked?
Casey's supposed to be doing that shit. I told her, I said, book me first class. I said, I don't want to do cargo anymore.
Which, for clarity, is not an option when it comes to traveling.
Yeah.
Commercial, cargo.
Yeah,
That's for the luggage.
I know. But I'm just talking about back with the cattle call.
Why don't you just book your own tickets?
I don't understand all this stuff.
Well, the waterproof laptop you have, you should be able to book your own tickets.
You would think, wouldn't you?
I would have thought you wouldn't have left it out.
Well, I have a daughter that takes care of me. It's just.
Is that what we're going to call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. That's the biggest regret I have is not being near that part of the family. But we're going to break away from here probably in March, head to the coast, drive, spend a couple weeks in Santa Cruz, San Diego, probably come up through Arizona, see Mad Dog. Oh, that'd be a hard one. Good whiskey that place. But then we'll go to Utah, What I like here is they got nice dispensaries. Cannabis is pretty good here.
I don't remember when they passed the law, but I'm pretty sure it went medicinal first and then recreational second. But I feel like there's a dispensary on almost every block.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're all over the place.
I don't like that. I like to see them next to liquor stores or stuff like that.
I just wonder how much of a market there is for it.
Shit, they're everywhere. We were in Plains, which is nothing.
Yeah.
They had a dispensary. I mean, people are realizing that it's something that
Nice
pour.
nice tumbler you got there. They didn't have a bigger one?
No. But it's it's got its place. Don't push it. Don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Find your place. Gosh, it's I don't know.
What do you have left you want to accomplish? What do you want to do with the rest of your time?
Wow, that's a good question. I want to fish. I want to hunt with you.
What type of hunting you want to do?
I don't care. As long as it's with you, I don't care.
No, I mean like what species?
As long as I can shoot it, I don't care. I like antelope. I like deer. I like elk. They're different. I got my new glasses so I can see. I mean, Jesus, I can't believe what I can see. So I'd like to try some bow hunting again.
Yeah.
I love the intimacy of that. I mean, I'm not into killing shit anymore. I mean, you give me a big animal and I'll shoot it, but I like the intimacy of the hunt with the bow. Mm-hmm. Even if you get nothing, just it's prehistoric. I mean, it's great. I really enjoy that.
Well, you'll be a Montana resident by the time...
I'm ready. I got one more month and I can take anything I want. Fishing license.
You can put in for your tags.
No, but I mean, I get my fishing license, all that stuff for nothing.
You pay for the fishing license.
Oh, yeah. I'll pay for it all.
But you can get your combined tag, which when we were hunting up here, those non-resident years was like $1,400. It'd be $60 for you.
One of the greatest things I've done since I've been here. You went to that ill-fated hunt in Dillon, and Leah and I hunted together.
Yes.
That was...
And by the way, we're more successful than Denver and I.
Was, to use Denver's words...
Oh, Michael was there too. He was there.
It was epic. Just the time we had together to laugh and to talk. I don't like driving roads and hunting. That to me is not hunting. But I can see the potential of that area. The game is there. I think you have to hunt at a lower elevation than we were. But...
Well, a lot of the times people will drive the road to spot herds, and then they bomb out.
Which is fine. But having that time to spend with Leah was priceless for me. She's such a gem. So solid. And it was wonderful. You know, she jumped out the first deer, click, safety. Oh, no shit, it ran off. You know, but all of that was just made part of it.
And you have to go through that to learn the lessons.
That's how you learn. You make mistakes, you know. But just she had made sandwiches and stuff. I mean, God, it doesn't get any better than that. You talked what I want to do. I don't want to do nothing but that. That's it. That's fine.
Well, unfortunately, there's 10 months of the year where that's not legal. So,
well, we got Proctor property. We can go up there. But
also not legal, but yeah.
Well, I am now at Proctor House, and only having one vehicle, I didn't want to leave Debbie stranded.
Yep.
Now we're on this side. I can go fish anywhere from Glacier to Libby, and Debbie won't be isolated.
Why don't you guys get her a car? Or why doesn't she just get
we
a car?
bought it. We just got her a car.
Oh, you did? What'd you guys get?
Got a RAV4, 2022
Well, that's a Toyota, right?
Toyota.
Okay.
And for Christmas, I bought her a 6-year warranty.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's got it set. She can drive that forever.
That's
it's
awesome.
a wind-up car. It's an entry level. But I told her, I said, the luxury vehicle's a truck. You know, this is it. So she was good with that. She's happy. She can get around. You know, so yeah. It's
I guess I meant it maybe even more other than just specific things, but existentially. Do you have anything else in your life that you want to accomplish?
God, that's a good question.
And how do you view time now that you're older, or mortality?
What a trip that is. You know, it's I've joined the gym here, so I'm pushing myself again. And the more I push, the more I can do it. When I take a couple days off, it gets real easy. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, I'm finding that I just coming up the stairs here today. Nothing. Piece of cake. I want to get as healthy as I can. I want to stay as relevant as I can. And I just always want to be part of what's going on. You know, whether it's watching my grandkids, watching my children, never get another dog because that's a whole nother trip. I finally realized I get another dog, I won't outlive it. And I don't want to do
Depends
that.
on the breed.
Well,
How much time do you think you have left? Like, you sound like you're putting an expiration date on yourself.
I don't know. It's a good question. You know, I just hope all of a sudden I get up one day and go sit somewhere and I'm just gone. I don't want to suffer. I won't do that.
We should come up with a safe word, and then I'll either push you into traffic in a wheelchair or smother you with a pillow.
Well, this is a family program, so I won't tell you the safe word. Starts with M and ends with F. But yeah, no, I hear that. You know, people talk to me and they go, God, I can't believe you don't look like your age. And I don't. I don't feel like I am my age. I just try to be relevant today. The world's changing so much in so many ways. I can't make sense of it.
What do you mean by that, relevant?
Well, God, there's so many facets to
You mean
that.
staying in touch with kind of what's going on?
Well, that's not hard. You know, the hard thing is trying to make out sense of is it even real.
I think that's only going to be getting more difficult as well.
Without a doubt. I completely agree. But I want to be able to always give back in some way, whether it's a little advice or, you know, I'd like to be able to coach again at a completely different level than I did before. I don't know. I just always want to be able to be productive.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't mean you're out pushing weight, what have you. But if you're just thinking, you're looking, you know, it's being able to think of more of than just yourself. When you age and you get to the point that you're only thinking about yourself, you might as well go die somewhere. That's not what life's about.
I think I read that on a fortune cookie once.
No problem. But I mean, I watch my kids, you know, and they're all different. My grandchildren, my children are different. And I love that. I can't imagine it being a vanilla color. You know what? Jesus Christ.
I think in some ways,
We're kind of like a bowl of M&M peanuts.
we're talking about
Candy.
the Stumpf family here at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's every color, there's every shape, you know, and it's
And then there's a few raisins in there.
yeah. And who gives a shit? I mean, it's just what makes it work. You know, it's just it's just trying to be relevant. And it's so easy to get older and just be stuck in your ways, and I don't want to do that. Because I know a lot of what my grandchildren now face is a world I have not faced, but I hope to walk a little bit with them, you know?
I think that's true of every generation. So I would put a post up that we were going to be doing a podcast and asked people if they had any questions, and then I completely ran out of time to read their responses, if I'm being completely honest. But one of the ones I saw in passing, and it's kind of one that I get every time that you're coming on, is, ask him about the differences in his generation and your generation. And I think every generation is born into and evolves into a world that the previous one hasn't seen. And I mean, maybe the complexity of the problems is a little bit more difficult, or the technology, I guess, would be in this instance, but I don't think they're all that new.
As I said, as the world changes, the more it changes, it doesn't change. It's about being respectful. You know, to me, respect is so important. And being honest. The rest of it, you'll sort it out. Maintaining your respect for first yourself, and then those things that you represent. The rest of it's BS. I mean, you take care of it. You know, I go to the gym and I have to walk through the cardio section where my peers are that have got oxygen tanks, and, I'll walk by and I see this old sucker, he's probably doing literally nothing, and I'm going, keep it up, you old bastard, and they'll see the look on their face that somebody recognized them. I don't care how old you got, let people recognize you, that you're still there. You might be taking a dump in your Pampers or what have you, but
Where is this coming from? I feel like I need to get a tiny shack out in the woods and go drop you off there sooner rather than later.
Well, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It's about being relevant. And I talk to friends that I've had literally since I was a kid, and I've watched them grow, and we're all different. One's an ultra conservative and the other is very progressive, and how our conversations change. But the main thing still gets back to family, respect, and I'm still here. People ask me all the time, how you doing? I'm still here, and that's all I can say. I can't predict who I'm going to be today. Jesus Christ. Thank God.
How do you view your mortality now that you're older in life? Do you think about it more?
No.
Really?
No.
Have you ever considered it much in your life?
What, dying?
Yeah, just the general thoughts on mortality. I mean, for some people,
My
it
only
hangs
thing
over
is,
their
and
head.
I thought about it the other day, I just thought, and I told Debbie, I told her the conversation I had with you up at the Proctor house, and I said, Andy, I want to die right here on the porch, just looking at the lake. And your response was, oh, good, another mess to clean up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's like I got to deal with that shit.
But I don't think about it any further. I try to live in the moment, I try to block out a lot of the negative shit because it doesn't do you any good. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I can be grumpy. I get depressed sometimes, probably more than I want to remember. But
Depressed?
yeah,
Where do you think it comes from?
there's a lot of bad memories, a lot of stuff. I'm learning, though, that so many of those memories, I didn't do anything wrong. And so often when I get like that today, I tell myself, you're okay. And it helps me. It's because...
I mean, don't you think bad memories are maybe just our body or a spirit or a soul, whatever it may be, a way to remind you to maybe make a change, not repeat a mistake?
I don't know. I hope so. You know, I don't know. It's just, you know, life's a funny thing. You do the best you can, and then all of a sudden you get to a point, then you got to deal with it, you know, and you, like you said, what do you think? And I just try to remind myself, I've been blessed where I was able to coach for so many years, and I'm still today getting phone calls from the gals that I coach at Santa Cruz. I mean, it's so neat. They, hey, coach, how you doing? You know, just different questions. Hey, you know, goddamn, I miss you, I love you. I mean, those are imprints in your life that you did okay. You did the right thing. And I feel very thankful I have those moments.
It's fair.
Yeah.
The analogy made with the Stumpf family being a bowl of peanut M&Ms, which I couldn't agree with more.
It's probably a lot more than just peanuts and M&Ms, but I mean,
some raisins.
Yeah.
It. I think if you go deep enough into anybody's family, you're going to find if everything else in there is a peanut M&M, you're going to find the Skittle or the Mars bar, or whatever it is.
For sure.
And maybe it's not even in the generation that you have access to, but when did you realize with your own father that things were amiss?
Oh, wow.
Because I honestly think
Well,
this
I
is
lived
something
two
that...
different lives with my dad. First part of my life, my dad was, I mean, he was hard. But he taught me being hard was okay.
What do you mean by hard? Like
just being resilient. Stern,
disciplined?
yeah. Learn how to work hard. I mean, I started working 12 years old with men that were World War II veterans that, I mean, they were hurting. But,
was he loving it all?
Yeah, he was, in his own way. And it's...
What does that mean?
He always made me a part of his life. And he struggled expressing emotion. There's no doubt about it. I mean, and it's a part of my life I struggle with.
Was he a hugger?
No.
Would he tell you that he loved you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
How about his wife? Would he tell his wife that he loved her?
Mom? Grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It'd be my grandma. It'd be your mother.
My mom, yeah. She was just the opposite. But she lived this life. I mean, I'd come home from school and she'd say, you know, we got to leave dad alone tonight. He's, you know, in a bad place, this and what have you. But to get back to your question, I lived a long time with that. I needed something. He was there. I mean, I remember there was a time in high school that this big bully called me out in school. And the typical thing at our school is you take it down in the parking lot after school. So I go down there, you know, I'm taking my shirt off, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and there's my dad, you know? And he had my back. That speaks volumes about Clarence. Clarence was a very complicated person. His religion and money changed him so dramatically. You've seen it.
When did he find religion?
Well, I was raised in a very religious family.
Okay.
They were, I wouldn't call them born-again Christians. They were just good people that broke away from a church that wasn't what they thought it should be and created their own church.
How did he and your mom meet?
My dad was stationed in Australia. A lot of shit with the not PBRs, excuse me, PT boats, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, places like that. I never got the full story, but he had a head injury. And at the time, there was a big hotel across from the boardwalk, across the street from the bowling alley, which was a convalescent hospital. He was sent, he'd been overseas for almost 4.5 years. He was sent there. His mom ran into my mother, your grandma, at a restaurant in Santa Cruz that my grandpa ran. And she set up a date.
A blind date.
And like in like 3 weeks they were married. They were both running away from a lot of shit.
How old were they?
Probably 22, 23. Both had survived the Depression, World War II. Neither one of them had any job skills other than just it worked. And yeah, that's how they met. From there, my dad got orders to go to Fort Pierce, Florida. Mm-hmm. What went on there, neither one of us know.
Yeah.
But the war ended, and he came home and started a whole nother life. They did.
So, when did you realize...
My dad was nuts?
That is a way to put it. I was going to probably put some more rounded edges on that question, but go ahead.
Well, we moved to Missoula, and I was struggling a lot. Running with the maggots, having a great time.
I do remember one of the questions, and not to interrupt you, somebody asked what was your most amazing memory from the Maggot Fest and all the years that you went. The wildest thing that you ever saw.
To walk around and be able to be naked and not have it be a problem.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But I was struggling, and your mom sat me down and she said, "Look, you're out of control. You either do this or I'm going to take the kids and go." And in 12 hours, I was at the vet center. So I started that whole process. And my mom, God bless her, she said, "Don't tell your dad, don't tell your dad." My dad would call me when he found out and says, "Are you okay yet? Are you healthy?" And then I started to realize.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
That he would check in on you like that.
So I started to realize there was a chink in the armor. And we moved back to Santa Cruz. Mm-hmm. By then, your grandpa was a very wealthy man, multimillionaire. But he helped me start my business. Thousands of dollars, which I paid him back within months. Mm-hmm. But
you're talking back in '89?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing that kept it together was my mom, your grandma.
You're talking about the relationship between you and your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just finally said, "Go fuck yourself."
What got you to that point?
Your mom and I always, I mean, you got to remember, your mom and I had known each other since we were teenagers. Started out as just the best of friends. Never really quite girlfriend, boyfriend. But then all of a sudden that blossomed. So we had a lot of history. And we were both running away from alcoholism on both sides of the family. And your mom put so much start in the back of my spine and just encouraged me. She said, "You're better than this. You don't have to do this." And then with some counseling, I realized, yeah, I don't have to do this. I don't have to pass this on. My biggest fear is that I would pass it on to my kids.
Pass on what specifically?
Just the dysfunctionalness of a family that isn't a family. You know, it's not healthy.
Was there a distinct moment where you knew that you had to cut it off?
No, he kind of pushed me in a corner where I finally said, "Yeah, don't do that or I'll beat the shit out of you."
Like physically push you in a corner?
Yeah. And I had never thought I'd ever come to that moment with my dad. And he had this cane made out of a bull's penis. And he wanted to make sure that I knew what it was. And I told him, I said, "You wave that."
We're going to, hold on, let's put a pin in this for a second.
All right.
The dick of a bull cow.
It was his cane.
He had it stretched into a cane.
Yes. It was pretty impressive, but I mean,
I know what I'm getting Michael for Christmas.
but he in the parking lot of his church. I said,
That's a really weird spot for that to go down.
"You reckon?"
Yeah.
This whole shit was so frigging confusing, and I'm at my wits' ends, and I just told him, I said, "You shake that thing in my face one more time, I'm going to make you eat it." I went and seen my uncle who lived right down the road, and he told me that Clarence had showed up and told him what had happened. And Donnie said, "There's nobody that's ever challenged your dad like that before." Mm-hmm. I didn't think about that. I had had enough. And then when the letters started showing up, the confrontations, letters, and I just... At that time, I was going through so much shit with myself. I mean, it was trying to be a dad, trying to be a husband, trying to deal with a lot of baggage, And thank God it was your mom. She kept me together. Sometimes she just reach over and just grab me and say, "You're all right." I mean, who does that? But she did, because we grew up as kids together.
What'd she say to you when you got your DUI on the bicycle?
What the fuck were you doing? Yeah.
You might as well tell that story.
Oh, well, Jesus.
For those of you who are unaware, you can get a DUI on a bicycle.
I go down to San Diego.
Oh, God, here it is.
And
bull penis cane.
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
Michael, add to cart.
That's nice. Give
Already
me
done.
2, will you? But,
We'll take, obviously, large.
Well, so here, this is always interesting. So I go down to San Diego. Greg's down there. And I had about 3-4 pounds of pot I had to move. At people down there. So I put it in my golf clubs, sealed it, and I thought it'd be great. So I fly into San Diego airport, and I'm standing there where the luggage is going around. Everybody else has already come and gone. And every time the luggage would get closer, the aroma from that bag of golf clubs was just incredible. So I called Casey. I said, "Be outside the door. I'm going to grab these golf clubs, and I'm going to sprint out." So we set it up, and I did.
That sounds super innocent looking.
So out the door we go. I moved the pot. It's a good pot, too. It was a really good pot. And so we go out that night, and we hooked up with Greg, and there was we're bar hopping. Well, after about the 4th bar, I try to get on this bicycle, and there was the tram tracks going through there, and I got caught in it. It flipped me off, cracked my skull. And there all of a sudden I wake up and I'm going, fucking lights are going on. What the hell's going on? Where's the party at? Here's give it Jesus, And we end up in the ER room. I got this wad of cash in my hand. It must have been like $6,000. I just gave it to Casey. The doctor's there trying to sew my eye up. I said, "Go get us a cab. He's going to be done soon. We're going to get out of here."
My favorite part of the story is that you didn't tell Mom, and she opened an envelope with the summons to court.
Would you tell Mom?
Oh, that's a hard pass. Fuck no, I wouldn't have told her.
I didn't either. I thought it all just went away. And then here's my date to appear in court. And I'm going, "Oh, Jesus." So I go there, and the judge, he says, "Well, I got a little flippant." I said, "Well, what are you going to do, take my bike away?" And he goes, "No, no, no." He says, "I can make this into a DUI anytime I want to. You're on 2 years probation. Don't screw it up." And I walked out of there and went, "Oh, my God." Of course, I'd brought 3 pounds of pot on that trip, too. But,
I mean, you might as well make it a business right off.
You got to make money. I mean, Yeah.
God, I can imagine she must have run you up one side and down the other, opening that envelope.
Oh, God. She says, "What's this?" And I'm going, "Oh, Jesus." Oh. Yeah, I just cracked my head wide open.
Didn't you get taken to the same ER Casey was working in?
Yeah.
God.
Knew the doctors, everything,
Yeah, and you just thought you were going to walk out of there scot-free, huh?
Well, I said, here, take all this cash. I'm taking money out of my shirt, and I just got all this money.
How'd you have room for your TV remote in those pockets with all that cash?
I made room.
Yeah.
You got to plan ahead.
There are a few people who also asked about why you were carrying that around in your front breast pocket for so long.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, it was dead, and there's no way to charge it in your front breast pocket.
I didn't know that.
How long, let's be honest, did you carry it around like that?
Too long.
It's about a week.
Yeah. I don't care about stuff like that.
Apparently
I take
not.
my shirt off. It's in my pocket. I say, okay, I put it in my new pocket. What the hell? Who cares?
It depends on if you want to watch the Apple TV. You need to charge the remote.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
How long did it take you to come to peace with the decision to cut your dad out of your life?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah.
I still struggle with it. I have, but I haven't. I've tried for so long to forgive my dad. And
Are you able to?
I'm struggling with it. I still am. I hope it's before I die, I do.
What is it that you're holding on to?
Pride.
No, but that's you holding on. What is it that he did that you're holding on to?
Oh, God, it's a lot of different things. Disappointment that I lost who I had before. Someone judging me that wasn't really capable of doing that. Losing him. The biggest regret I have, the biggest regret out of all of that is losing my mother.
Yeah, it was kind of a package deal.
Oh, and I loved her dearly, and I miss her so much. But she got caught up in it. But the generation they stood by their man, And I told her when it all happened, I said, look, I understand that you have the right to make any decision that you want, and I'll support you. I might not agree with it, but it's your choice. And the last time I talked to her.
Did you have a chance to say goodbye?
Nope. My dad sent me pictures of her when she was in the hospital, stark-ass naked, probably weighing 100 pounds in all different contorted figures. Your mom saw after about the third picture and literally grabbed the packet of pictures from my hand and threw it in the fire. That's the man I was dealing with. I'm looking at him and going, what the hell is this? Huh?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to forgive that either. I would need the intermediate step, which is obviously revenge. But that's tough when he's also dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take for you to be able to put that down?
I don't know.
Have you ever talked to a counselor about it?
Huh?
Have you ever talked to a counselor about it?
They want to write textbooks about it. I tell them about it, and they go, you're kidding. And I go, no, Yeah, they all say pretty much the same thing. You got to let it go. You got all this kind of stuff. You go away from those conversations, but you still this is the man I idolized.
Yeah.
Was my hero. And then all of a sudden, because of money and religion, he turned into this beast. And fuck with me once, you ain't gonna fuck with me twice. And it cost me an awful lot, but if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't do it any different.
I hope you can put that down.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I mean, the only one left suffering is actually you.
Yeah, I understand.
He's long gone.
The biggest thing that helps me is my family. The love that they give me, watching them grow, and making sure I don't do that ever myself.
I don't think you're capable of being the way that he was. And my memories of him are super fractured at best.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean, I was not that old, and a lot of life experiences in between now and then, but yeah.
But do I wake up in the middle of the night? You bet. Cold sweats? You bet. Sometimes I go outside and walk outside just to clear my head.
That's problematic because you generally don't sleep wearing anything.
Why would we?
Well, that means you're probably outside not wearing anything.
I would hope so.
You live in a neighborhood.
I don't care. Pays to advertise. It's all marketing.
Pays to advertise. Who the fuck are you marketing to?
Probably myself.
Yeah. Good God. I don't know what kind of business you're running, but Jesus.
No, life's. I'm working hard, learning how to laugh at it. I mean, I get such joy out of watching you and Casey grow up, and as different as you are, it's the affirmation that I was here, and I'm glad I was here. Those are the things that get me through every friggin' day. I can't change so much of what happened in my life, but it's your lives that give me the affirmation that my time here was worth it.
Yeah, I think the person who might be the end of us all is actually Tyler.
Oh, that's a psycho. He is. God. Yeah, he's great. I love him. I mean, him and I have had discussions for 2 or 3 hours, just battling these philosophic conversations. I go, you're fucking batshit crazy, And he go, okay, so what, And I go, perfect answer, I got it. That's great. No, I mean he is the, oh God, how do you say it? He's the bell in the church that we ring that everybody goes, because he is so delicate. He is so delicate, and he is a good man. He's intellectual. He's articulate. He's got so much to learn, but
he's a walking Dunning-Kruger curve.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He literally is it personified. He
said, we need to go on tour. I said, you're not ready to go on tour with Grampy.
No, he's not.
No, I said, we'll start in New Orleans. And I said, you wake up one morning and you're going to have a tattoo in a place you could not believe you got it. And it just, but
he'd probably be down for that, actually.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I was so happy when you took your family to Costa Rica. I watch you so closely and let you be who you are, because as I should, that's my place, but I just was so glad to see you finally get away for a while.
We get a good amount. It's the first trip we've done with all 3 kids and Leah. It was amazing.
I'd love to make it with you next year.
Well, we already have the house picked out. If you guys want to come stay with us, you absolutely can.
Oh, we're in. Yeah.
We're going to have a talk about acceptable swimwear at the pool, which is going to mean you have to fucking wear swimwear.
I'll wear a
your
Speedo.
Yeti outfit, which is the fucking hair from tip to tail that you seem to have. Thank God Casey got that gene, not me.
Yeah. Hey, once you're in the water, it's all floating, right?
No, that's 100% not how that works.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to have board shorts and a mandatory square inch requirement of fabric.
Oh, that's fine. I'm good with that. I don't care. I love so much being with my family. It's, I've got to find some way to spend more of my time with Casey too. She's been very gracious of allowing this to happen, and
allowing what to happen?
Just being able to, the separation and not spending a lot of time there. You
lived within driving distance from her for like 2 decades.
I understand. I struggle with a lot of that stuff. It's just...
A lot of what stuff?
Just, I don't know, shit. I'm a complicated person, and it's a lot of times I try to sort it out and I can't. It's... The women of my life have been very gracious, and it's like your mom before she died. God bless her. I miss her so much. I'll tell you something about Debbie, which is really great. Debbie...
Did that thing do something to you? You keep smashing it.
Just leave me alone. I didn't know how to deal with the things with Mom, and I wasn't comfortable putting a picture up or what have you. So we didn't. But when we moved into our new house, I come in one day and Debbie put a picture up of her. That was such a huge leap for both of us. It was such a great affirmation of who she was. So I moved her into my bedroom. Now I got a man cave, you know. Debbie stops at the threshold. Don't fucking hit her.
Are we really going to call a room where you have a chair and a TV a man cave?
Fuck yes. That's
Okay.
right. You know.
It's a very sparse man cave.
That's all right.
Chair and TV.
That's right. Got a huge hookah bong. You know, you got to have all
He's lying, everybody. He's just talking shit.
You got to come take a look at the new version.
Jesus.
But anyway, that was such a great move by Debbie. Such a strong thing. But, yeah, it's... Shit. What the fuck were we talking about?
Debbie putting a picture up of Mom.
Oh, yeah. So that was a great thing. You know, those things are... You know, it's... Women are such... They're just different. You know, they just...
No shit.
No shit. I understand, you know?
You going to talk into the microphone or keep fucking around with that piece of tin?
Oh, shit. That's my... Whatever. It's my dad.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's a counselor right across the hallway. Let's line you up.
Yeah, he couldn't handle me.
It's a woman, actually.
Yeah, whatever. But no, you know, it's all about my family. I see shit happening. There's so many things today you deal with that we didn't have to deal with. That,
Like what?
oh shit. I mean, having a child that didn't even finish high school.
That
was
is not a new thing.
Well, this was different. I'm not saying it's wrong. Riley did what he had to do. I'm watching him grow. I love the growth. You know, all of this stuff. I got another grandson that is in a friggin' stratosphere I can't even a lot of times figure out. But he's such a gentle, loving person. I've got a granddaughter who is a friggin' pistol, but is a great person. Just a wonderful, loving person. Then we go to San Diego. You know, I got a gay blade down there and a...
I'm just going to throw out that's probably not a socially acceptable.
You know. But who cares? You know? It just, thank God they're all different because it helps you be different. It helps you. It's like when I was coaching the women's rugby program and I said, you guys are all about inclusion. Where's the straight players? Come on.
Yeah, that's not how the alphabet people work.
I understand, but they did. They understood what I said, you know, and we made changes, and it worked. But to me, it's all family. That's all I want to have left is family.
So here's a good story for you about Tyler. This has happened more than once. Michael will appreciate this too.
Hangover?
For sure. He was rating them in Costa Rica. He's like, today is a 7 out of 10. We were at the townhouse, Leah, myself, and Tyler. This has happened more than once. And he will...
Was he shitting again with the door open?
No, that happens too. He will rip a fart that would wake up a dead person. And with a straight face, he'll look over and just say, I thought that was going to be quieter.
I mean, yeah, I understand. I mean, I love that. I mean, I'm doing that today. I'm down there and Connor's down there and I'm shitting myself. I'm farting.
Why are you telling this fucking story?
Well, I understand where it comes from.
God.
Oh, you know.
Connor is likely going to listen to this, just so you know.
That's all right.
Is it, though?
Yeah, why not? I don't even know if she'd... I mean, I'm just... You know, you got the lips just singing. It's just great stuff. You know, I mean, you can't stop it. I've been sitting on a stool for 4 hours with my ass packed right up to my shoulders, and I'm ready. You know, so it was time to, you know, just kind of let the juice out a little bit.
We have restrooms at the coffee shop.
Santa doesn't take a break. Santa's on.
Okay, I'm just saying. For Connor and everybody else who might be downstairs benefit,
They're a great crew.
They're good people.
I have gained such a degree of respect for their loyalty for what is there, their hard work. It's you just don't find that anymore. I can't.
It is out there. I'll push back on you on that a little bit. It's out there. You got to find the right people.
Oh, for sure. And you found a great group of people there. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Thoughts on the upcoming election?
Oh, I hope it's.
I hate to ask, but it's literally a month away until it goes full speed ahead.
I do not support either candidate. I really don't. And I got thoughts about the progressives. Both parties have been overtaken by the extremes of their party, which is absolutely fucking bug shit nuts. But I was thinking about, after listening to a lot of the conservative stuff, and it reminds me so much of the Tea Party that happened 20-some years ago. I listen to these conservatives today, and I mean, I love conservatives. I'm more conservative than I am progressive. But the radicals, and they just spew this stuff of how much they love this country.
The word patriot has been, it really has been appropriated.
But you know what? They don't love Americans. They don't. They don't like the people in this country.
Who do you think they like?
Not the people.
People that have similar beliefs?
Well, they don't like people of color. They don't like religion. It's all about a very, very small channeled part of the country. I mean, you look at the Speaker of the House today, Johnson. This guy he believes the world's 5,000 years old. And, I mean, you look what's going on in Texas today. A gal's got a baby she's carrying that has multiple birth defects. Lower court said you can have an abortion, and he's going to stop it. I mean, just nasty stuff. And then you go to the conservatives. I mean, the progressives or liberals, and they're batshit crazy too. I mean, there was a great thing I read today about, I don't know what part of Texas it was, but how they've eliminated their homeless situation by 60%. They're buying homes and converting them into what used to be, what was the word? God, I can't remember it. But everybody shares a bathroom. They get a room, their own private room, for like $1,500 a month. And it's reduced homelessness by 60%. I know there's solutions out there. I mean, you look at our current Congress, they've accomplished nothing. And I blame that on both the liberals and the conservatives. It's tribalism at its worst. I look at that. Answer your question, I support neither one of them. Yeah, they are the extreme of, I mean, if I was Joe, I would make sure there was never a picture of me moving. Yeah,
I feel bad for the
Jesus,
guy.
good Christ.
Actually, I saw when people are so hypercritical and judgmental. I commented on a post that was a video of him walking out to the helicopter. I think they call it Marine One. And one of the post comments was, "Can you believe this? Who walks like that?" And my response was, all of us are going to.
We're going to get there.
The age is coming for us all. But it's, you and I had talked about this before. I think where I struggle and where I lose the ability to or maybe it's not necessarily that I lose the ability. It seems like people are unwilling to have the conversation is I can, and I think people should, look at Joe Biden and then look at his party and then look at I think Donald Trump is going to end up being the candidate for the Republicans. Look at Donald Trump and then look at his party. And you can talk about the person without necessarily talking about the beliefs of the party. And you can talk about the beliefs of the party without necessarily talking about the person. It's a little bit more complex, but it seems to devolve into a shouting match before that is actually able to happen. Like, I'll use an example of people who view Trump as the only hope left we have to save this country. And there's, of course, an equal size audience on the other side. My point is, though, they will not look at the man separate from his policies or the other way around. And I think that's a very dangerous place to be. I don't think you can – I think you should be able to objectively look at and criticize where need be the individual and then also the policies. They don't have to always intrinsically be tied. But it seems like, let's say there's 10 core beliefs on this side and 10 on this side. If you have criticism of one, it's a guillotine. They're not interested in hearing anything else.
Well, I just came up with it the other day. I was thinking, and I'm going, and it's the extreme right that is controlling the quote-unquote Republican Party, and they talk about their patriotism and everything. They don't like Americans. They really don't. They're such a small group that controls a big group, and their rage for so much of America is frightening. Frightening. I understand why conservatives look at progressives, liberals, who are batshit crazy too. But at some point, we have to come back to the middle somewhere. And when that's going to happen, I don't know. Everything you say, I completely agree with. How can we be? This is the only two choices we have.
It's pretty rough.
Oh my God. We're the greatest country in the world, militarily, economically,
And then we present to the world, and I would be just as critical of the Democratic Party, but right now it's the Republican debates that are going on.
Yeah. Have you watched any of that?
I've only watched snippets of it, and I want to be very clear.
Me too.
I want to be clear that I might be cherry picking based on what I've seen. But to me, the image that we present to the world matters. And the way that some of those people are behaving, I wonder what the rest of the world thinks. Like, this is the best you have, going for the most powerful seat in the country that you are from. Like,
you watch a lot of the rest of the world. I had a conversation with my cousin the other day, and I said, "Who do you think is going to spend the most money attempting to elect Donald Trump?" And he says, "I'm not sure." I said, "Simple. It's Putin." I said, "This is where all of this is coming from."
Where do you get that belief from?
But what was happening with the information that's coming out there. And if you look at what happened 4 years ago and what they're presenting today, I mean, all the policies that Trump wants to pursue if he is elected just feed right into this autocratic government that Putin wants to put out there. You got Crimea that go away, Ukraine, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia. I mean, it will disappear. Is it right or wrong? I'm not qualified to make that judgment. But, I mean, my naivete in all of this is very, very huge, and I'm embarrassed to say. But it just seems that the wars that are going on in cyberspace with disinformation is huge.
Yeah.
On both sides. So, I mean, I don't know how to make a qualified answer anymore. I have my beliefs, which I would like to see our country be. It's going to take a whole nother generation to possibly even get there. But I just going, is this the best we have from both parties? It just frightens me. Christie, Haley, all these people, I'm going, Jesus. I mean, the Democrats haven't even trotted out anything even with any comparison. I mean,
Well, isn't the front runner for the Democratic Party just going to be Biden and Harris? They've already
it sounds
declared
like it. It sounds like it. And it's, I mean, who in the world is Harris? Something happens to this guy? Who is this woman? She's got no international experience. I mean, she fucked her way to the top of the ticket. You know,
That's not a bad bumper sticker slogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biden Harris 24.
Yeah.
Fuck your way to the top.
But that's how she got where she's at.
For clarity, I'm not so sure she would agree with that description.
Well, that's why we having a little sip. Nice tumbler.
Did you drive here?
No, you did.
No, I mean to the coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll give you a ride home.
No, that's all right. I'm fine. That's not.
Oh yeah, let's just fucking put this out for evidence. You drank half bottle of scotch. Officer, I'm Santa Claus. My hat's in the back. Can't you see?
No, it's you know, it's so frightening today of trying to figure out where we are. I mean, it really is scary.
Do you think we'll figure it out?
I've lived through Kennedy. I've lived through Reagan. I've lived through Nixon. I mean, I've lived through LBJ. I mean, these people, it's oh man, it's scary shit.
You think we'll be okay?
The Clintons.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Do I think we're okay? Yeah.
Do you think we're going to be okay?
I asked myself that the other day, and I do. I think we're strong. We're capable. We'll make decisions. But I appreciate you asking that because I asked myself that exact same thing. We're strong. I love our country. We're strong people. We're diverse. Yeah. I can't say how it's going to happen.
I don't think we have to know how.
I completely agree. We have the greatest country in the world. Freedoms beyond what any other. You and I have talked about this. Most people in this country go travel around the world, see what it's like. You have no idea what you have.
Well, if you do that, especially if you stay in the first world, you're going to find a lot of countries that have very similar freedoms to us.
You got to get outside the first world.
Yes. For some people, more prohibitive or easier said than done. But yeah, when you spend a lot of time in those environments, it becomes a rough mirror to not take an objective look at.
Fair point. But I mean, go walk a rice paddy in Southeast Asia. Go get outside. Go to Japan. Get outside. Go to Korea. Go up on the DMZ. Go sniff that. See how that feels. There's all kinds of things, places you can go to expose yourself to.
And most of those places you could talk right into the microphone too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it helps. It helps with the audio.
I understand. No, but I mean, we are an uneducated, unexperienced country.
It's tough to argue against a lot of that.
Yep. And how do you explain to people what it is to feel pain? Most of them have no idea.
Yeah.
I can't buy a 6-pack this weekend. Jesus, how about finding just a place to sleep? Stuff like that. The wealthiest country in the world, and we have hundreds of thousands of people sleeping on the streets.
We're just not making it a priority.
Yeah, I understand. I agree.
What do you want to close it out with for today? We got to get you home before dinner. Since I'm driving you, so.
I think it's important everybody just take the time to hug your family. Make sure you say you love each other. And always make it a priority. Because if you don't start there and you start somewhere else, it'll always fail. You got to start at home. That's where it starts and that's where it finishes.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time. And now that you're here, it's easy. We can do this all the time.
Okay.
All right.